Okay, good morning everybody. I'm going to talking about the oil filter and the fuel pump and all that, and they're going to go through this pretty quick, but it might be, interesting to somebody. All right, picture if you can, this is going to be attached to, here, and your oil pan will cover this, and there's your oil pump and your float. Okay, now we turn this around. And that oil pump's coming up kind of through here, but you wouldn't be able to see it. And that's where your distributor slips in. You see this gear? It meshes with this camshaft, which has a gear on the other end. And when everything's connected right, the camshaft, kind of like the knee bone's connected to the leg bone and so on, is going to turn this, and while it's spinning and turning this, it's also spinning the oil pump. So it's like kind of working in a combination of things. So come on over here now and I'll give you a better clue. So here is the oil pump again, and there's your float, by the way. And I don't know if you can see it or not. I haven't got my glasses on, but it actually says on there Floato. It's a floato. It's kind of like Whammo, but it's floato, and it's patented and registered back then. Okay, so here you go. Now remember this rod, and it had a little hole in it, which would mean it would go on that side. And then, so that's bolted on the underside of your block, you could say, and then the distributor comes down and it goes into that groove. And now imagine the engine's turning over and running, and the camshaft spinning this, and you kind of go down like that. So this is spinning and it's turning, the distributor to fire all the spark plugs, because each time this turns, it's getting a spark, and the spark's running down here and it's hitting on there to fire each of your cylinders. It's all, set with timing. There's where you set the timing. There's your points on an old school distributor. They've got a vacuum advance on it, and they even have a little thing you could occasionally drop a little oil down there to help the gears in here. So again, there you are, and this thing's spinning, and your distributor's working, and your oil pump's working, and hopefully your car's running fine. All right, having said all that, let's come over here for a minute. And okay, now again, here's your oil pump, right? And the oil pump's pumping oil, and the oil has to go through your oil filter. And I got an oil filter I just cleaned up and repainted it. And you can see, looks pretty good. And I repainted it, and I masked this off because I just wanted to keep that. I like it. That's the actual oil filter. This is an old school. I don't even know if I'll use it. I got this off of eBay. It says it's a Wizard. It helps prevent sludge. And this was sold by Western Auto back in the day. This is, you can't get these anymore. But they do still make these filters. I guess they're still used in a lot of different applications. You go down to Advance or, AutoZone or whatever, and they got them. If they don't have them, they get them for you. So I'm going to show you something now. This here, of course, bolts up to the block, and the oil pump's pumping oil, and the oil's going through here, and it's being filtered out. And when you turn the key on, your little light comes on. It, the idiot light says oil, because it's getting a signal from here. And these things here, see this one? I did that. You know what I mean? I broke that thing off. It's a brass fitting. And so I'm going to try to fix this because I want to maybe be able to use it later. But here's something I want to tell you about. These things here go bad, and they go bad more than one way. Not only will it maybe not be working so your idiot light isn't coming on or going off, so you don't, it's nice to have an oil pressure gauge, but you got idiot lights. But even if you say, well, I don't care, I've had them go bad where you're running and the oil's leaking out of here. It starts coming out through the seam, and it can come out pretty bad to where you have to replace this. You can get them, eBay. So the whole point of the story is this. If you got to replace this, be careful. Because I did that. And getting back to this now. This holds a quart. And the oil pan on this is a 5-quart. So on the old 5960, I don't know where they changed, when they changed to the other filter, I think it was in 61. You're running 6 quarts of oil. And let's see if you can see Whammo here better in the sunlight. Or Floto. I wish I had my glasses on. Can you see it says Floto? Can you see it? She says she can't see it. Well, anyways, that's about it. I'm going to start hooking up stuff parts today to this block. And I hope this was a little fun for you to all watch. Thanks a lot.